Just go to the stream starting soon, real quick. Yeah. Banger, bro.
Yo, 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 what's going on? Welcome back, everybody. Another week of the Car Test Live. Today, we are going to do a 2 hour show instead of one. And we also have a special guest. Shane mixed it. Um, he's what's up, Shane? Say what up to everybody. Tell them about your studio, all of that.
Part of the engineers squad. And if you're not on engineers, you definitely got to jump on. But yeah, we're here. We're gonna listen to some music today, and we're gonna kind of give you all our thoughts on it. And yeah,
Yes, sir. Well, glad to have you, Shane. Shane's been killing it on the engineers platform since day one, basically. He's probably what the top. He's probably the top booker on there, I would assume.
I don't know if I'm the top booker,
That sounds dirty.
but
You sound like a hooker.
yeah, it's but yeah.
I think you might have the. I mean, sessions and projects combined, you might be the most on there.
Oh well, combined, yeah, maybe.
With
I'm trying to actually be the first. Trying to be the first to 1,000 and 1,000.
oh yeah, the thousand club. I think your man in
I don't.
there, Hunter, is on your heels for that, buddy.
No, not for the 1,000 for the
No, yeah,
1,000 sessions.
got you. Yep, yep.
Yeah, he's on my heel.
All right, well let's looks like we got a bunch of people in here right now. Submissions are coming in. Everybody, you can submit to the cartestlive.com. I posted it in the YouTube chat. It's pinned. So get your submissions in if you want to get feedback. We'll just start calling people out to see if they're in the chat. First submission is from Backend Key 6. Just throw a thumbs up in the chat if you're up in here. I'll check on Instagram and on our regular chat. Backend key 6. We'll give you a couple few seconds to respond. And yeah, if you're not in the chat, we'll just move on. So what's new, Shane? What do you got on the horizons right now?
Well, you just had that Pro Tools course, right?
Yeah.
How was that?
It's cool. It's the first course that we did. It's an intro course, so it's geared towards people that aren't super familiar with Pro Tools. I do go through a full mix, stereo mix, one of Devon's records. So everybody gets like 4 hours with stereo mixing with me, and then they get to mix a Devon record, which is pretty cool. But yeah, the first course went good, and all the people that pass get a Pro Tools verified badge on their profile, which people seem to like so far.
Yeah, that's actually I didn't do it because I didn't know there was a badge involved.
Oh yeah. No, so like with Avid, they're doing a partnership with like a certification program takes a little bit longer, so that's probably down the road a little bit. But for now, you get a Pro Tools verified badge on your profile, which looks pretty cool.
It does look cool. I'm kind of jealous.
Yeah, I mean, just hop in the class, or I mean, also if you have like if you got certified somewhere else for Pro Tools, if you send it in, we'll just throw a badge to you.
I certified myself.
I said me too, and then I certified everybody else. All right, so I saw Backend responding here, so we're gonna download this record and we'll play it in Pro Tools. We'll get some feedback. They're looking forward to see if the mix is ready for mastering, and they just want feedback on the all around vibe of the song. It looks like this is called Is It Real? And this is the demo mix. I'm just downloading it now. We'll throw it in Pro Tools.
Where do I need to go to see the chat?
Lashard, where does
just YouTube or?
Yeah, YouTube's on there. It's on IG Live also.
Okay, but
I mean, there's two different chats basically.
Yeah, I'll be on the YouTube one.
Okay, word.
So if anybody wants to say anything to me, I'll be watching the YouTube chat.
Yeah, get all your comments in. If you're trolling, the Nightbot will get you. All right, so we got the song pulled up. I'm just gonna play this from the top, and we'll get some feedback from Shane and myself.
It's only one thing I ask, you feel me? Just keep it real. It's so hard to ask. Type of niggas we is, you know what I'm saying? Last of a dying breed. Just gotta keep it real. Is it real or it ain't? Ain't no in between. Toxic broke bitch ain't never been good for me. You gotta pay like you weigh if you want this ism. Have you ever held it down for a nigga in prison? What you want a G with motion that be trapping and scamming? What you bringing to the table, bitch, your ass can't handle. Fed her alphabet soup and the letters with all P's. She left and came back and handed me all G. You fag off once I kick that ass to the curb. I don't really need a hoe, bitch, fuck what you heard. I'm a street tested, hood approved, certified hustler. My name's burnt out from serving all of the customers. The new whip, did it straight off a bag. These niggas don't really fuck with me, they want what I have. The streets ain't the same, but the game still cold. What I look like being 60 broke is fucking old. Allah forbid that happen, I'ma keep on grinding. Stack and be patient, trust in God's timing. I feel motivation seeing niggas that's having things. I'm out here making plays, man, I ain't got time to have. See the frown on their face when I be coming in first. They see me up all of a sudden, yeah, I know that it hurts. Can't even fake they happy for me, not even a smirk. Bitter like my baby mama, bruh, these niggas the worst. Fake thirsty bitch, you get nothing from me. She really thinks she on something, always drinking for free. Broke as fuck in the club, rocking fake double C. Stay your ass over there and getting close to me. 4 Giottos on the Chevy, the summer is mine. Locked in with real gangsters that be pushing the line. I don't like new niggas and that's how I feel. You want my respect, you gotta show me you real.
All right, cool. So that's Backend Key with Is It Real? Shane, what are you thinking? What are you hearing?
So it's really hard for me to determine how it actually sounds. I don't know if I'm getting the full in terms of like quality through the stream.
Yeah, this
but in
is
terms like
my bad. This is a MP3, by the way.
Okay. But in terms of like the rapping is dope. The vibe is dope. Your execution on actually just rapping the song is great. I love the little switch up flow at the end of the beat where it switches going out into the outro. That was dope. So
Yeah, outro was super tight. The things that I was hearing are like mixed things, really. The first thing is there's like a part where some of the beat dies down a little bit and like the vocals keep going, and I can kind of hear the room that you're recording in. I don't know if that's like something that you could fix or if that's just like the room that you have to record in, but you don't really hear it in the song until that one part. But I feel like that could probably be cleaned up a little bit. The other things I was hearing, one, if because you wanted feedback on whether this is ready for mastering or not, but this particular song, and Shane, I know you can't see the session, so you can't really tell, but it looks like there's like some sort of master going on already. So there's a limiter squashing things and whatnot already. So there's not really any headroom to send to mastering. You could send that off to mastering that way, and they'll just create the headroom by turning your track down. But I would recommend taking the limiter and stuff off. Allow the transients to poke through and let mastering kind of take care of that. You can hear like some of the like it's not necessarily clipping, but you can hear some crackle when the limiter is getting pushed a little too hard. The other thing I was hearing was the vocals. Let's see, at like 11K and like 7,500 just sound a little harsh in the S's. So you could probably attenuate that a little bit. And then I wanted to hear the kick come out a little bit more. So I did this little boost at 110 that could probably bring the kick out. And then at like 35 hertz, you could probably bring the sub out a little bit just to like add some warmth to the record and kind of give it a little bit more space from like the lowest frequency to the highest frequency. But otherwise, yeah, as far as the song goes, like the rapping was cool. I like the little switch up at the end, like you said, Shane. I don't know if you did that when you were recording back in or if that was just part of the beat or whatnot, but it sounds super tight. You got any?
I can see the Pro Tools session, by the way. So.
Okay, fire. Perfect. Yeah. Anything else you want to add, Shane?
No. It was dope.
All right, fire. Well, that was Backend Key. Thanks for submitting Backend Key. Hopefully the feedback does well for you. Maybe just adjust those couple of things before you send to mastering, and then just make sure you have some headroom for mastering so they can kind of do their magic. But otherwise, yeah, overall solid. Let's see, what's the chat saying, Shane?
Oh, show us how to master, please.
Yeah, I saw that on there too. Yeah, we're not doing that here. We're just critiquing music for you. But if you do need mastering, my guy Shane, you master, right?
I mean, I'm master, but I don't consider myself a mastering engineer, but I do master.
Yeah, I mean,
little ozone 11. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. I could throw a limiter on there, but I couldn't say that I'm a mastering engineer. I don't even offer mastering on engineers personally, just because I have
technically
my best friend is a big mastering engineer, so I'm kind of spoiled that way. All right, cool. So let's see who's next on the list here. LP Light Pole, I believe, is what you go by. I know I've seen you in here a bunch, but throw a thumbs up or something. Let us know you're in the chat, so we can critique your work. And Shane, you're out there in Mississippi, right?
Yeah, I'm out here where we like ride horses to work and shit.
That's how your clients pull up to their sessions. Hey,
exactly.
I got a 4 hour and I got to get out of here because sun's going down.
That's crazy.
All right, I see LP. I see him throw the thumbs up. So let's get this one downloaded. They're looking for any feedback or critique. Also, even a follow. Let's see what this has for us. It looks like this song is called. I don't know if it's called Doris or if it's called Proof. One's probably the artist. Let us know, Lipo, while you're in the chat. And we're just going to download this, throw this in Pro Tools. Cool. All right, cool. So let's play this one from the top, and we'll get some feedback.
Yeah, hey. This is from my southern belle with ebony skin covered in moles, yeah. Kind heart, line heart, pure studded in gold, yeah. To you, all praises due, all love bestowed. You my Wonder Woman, one to be held, one to behold, yeah. Cut from the mold of mothers of old who hunched over stove, fought hunger and drove, then doubled the load, yeah. Lay down the law before you hung up the clothes. That's good to know your heart was bigger than this grudge that I hold. For knowing how your mind has slipped and then we moved you to that nursing home. Acting like I ain't know how to work a phone, shit. Hit redial and you see that I just called some chick I met at the mall that I barely know it. Damn. Assume it's safe to say I feel it as your grandson. Gave my mama first breath, she saw you take your last one. Saw me take my first steps, I missed you on your last run. Said I missed you on your last run. Have fun, so high, freedom, the song you sing, yeah. And let it ring with liberty under wing. A phoenix ain't never finished, the quintessential queen. Don't be timid to intervene. Won't you visit me in my dreams, I swear I need you now more than ever. To in the process of letting go, trying to hold it together. I couldn't hold it back any longer, so I wrote you a letter to tell you them cigars you end up loving. The smell it was really weed, yeah. Telling me I used to steal all your cigarettes, clog up the line, look at dirty pics on your internet, yeah. Knew from a toddler age, you know, tolerate disrespect. How you kept all his kids in check with the mention of switches to, ain't it crazy? Crazy how the memory sweet as honeydew. Peanut butter jelly with the crust removed and love infused. A kiss, a hug from you was basic anesthesia. For me, Amara, Sean, and Sia, and Danny and Aaliyah, yeah. For any bump or bruise, it seemed you had the panacea, but couldn't stop the spread of cancer in Grandpa and Auntie Lisa, oh yeah. You had to be the strongest woman alive. For the love of God, when I took a look in your eyes, thank you for life, yeah. Sometimes I cry when I think of you, thanking you. Blessings, they blanket you. Angels, they anchored you to the heavens. I'm grateful, though I can't wait till the chains removed and we free from the anguish and I can hang every day with you, yeah. But until then, I hold it down for the fam. Sing your praise loud as I can, like a crowd full of stands, yeah. It's Team Doris, even now still a fan. I just pray I make you proud as a man, till I see you again. Yeah.
Fire beat. That beat was fire. Rapper super fire too. Shane, what are you hearing?
Yeah, no, it was dope. From a personal perspective, I mean, I would like the beat a little louder or the vocals a little quieter. But I mean, other than that, it was pretty good. And like I said, once again, I don't know if I'm hearing correctly, but I felt like it could have been a little more low end punch on the kick and whatnot. But other than that, the song was great.
Yeah, for sure. No, I agree. The bass is like it's like a live bass. It's like it's not a sub bass, so it's like I feel like I agree with you. The kick could probably hold more weight because there's no like 808 in there. The snare felt a little quiet to me. So I did this little boost here at 1700 or so to bring it out. And the only other thing I was hearing was just these couple frequencies in the vocals. One's like 7K, the other's like 11K. I don't know, usual offenders. As far as I just use the Pro Q3 to kind of like visualize and show kind of what's going on. There is, I mean, most people use like Soothe or a DS or something like that to try to get rid of some of those frequencies or soften them up a little bit. There is, I don't know how this is gonna work. With having the whole like song here and not just the vocals, but I will show you. I did this once on a YG record, where like the feature vocal that came in was like already processed and everything, but it was like super harsh up there. And so I just take a decapitator and I'll like duplicate the signal, or this will just be on an aux as a parallel. And I'll pull the tone all the way down to dark, and I'll move this to N, which is the darkest color on the decapitator. And then we'll use the mix knob to bring it in, but we'll also mix in like the signal of it as well. But first, what I would do is
Fun so high, freedom, the song you sing, yeah, yeah. And let it ring with liberty under wing. A phoenix ain't never finished. The quintessential queen, don't be timid to intervene. Won't you visit me in my dreams? I swear I need you now more than ever. To in the process of letting go, trying to hold it together.
So yeah, it'll soften up the top end and the vocal a little bit. Doing just the mix knob for some reason doesn't always work for me. So I always use like the mix knob in a parallel as well. And sometimes I'll bring this this high band down depending on what I'm trying to darken. But just a cool little trick you could try it at home in your mixes if you want. If you don't, if you're not getting the results from Soothe or a de-esser or they sound a little over processed, definitely try that out. But otherwise, yeah, I think
That's the
everything
first
sounded
time
good.
I've seen that with That's the first time I've seen that with Decapitator.
Dude, I came across that, like, I just tried it. It was like I tried everything under the sun to try to get this feature vocal on this YG record to like blend. And every time I like took the top end out, it just sounded like overly muffled, even though it like did what I wanted it to do. It made the vocal sound kind of flat and dead. And so I was like, man, fuck it, I'm just gonna try some out the box shit. And it was funny because me and my assistant Brandon, when we did it, we just started moving the mix knob up, and like all the top end like disappeared and was soft again. And then we just mixed in a little bit of that into the original signal, and it kind of like balanced it out, and it just worked out hella well on that. So yeah, definitely try it out.
Yeah, that's
at home.
crazy.
All right, let's see who we got next up in here. I see the chat likes the little tip that we got there. Shane, if you got any, do you have any tips on or anything that you do that maybe other people don't know about as far as like trying to handle sibilance in vocals?
Not really. I mean, on my mix bus, I'll usually EQ on the actual vocal track, and then I'll go into EQing on the vocal bus, and then once I'm working on my mix bus for their overall mix, if anything's still popping out, I'll take a Pro Q4 and I'll kind of dip how you were dipping, and maybe use dynamic just to try to catch the last little harsh S's and whatnot.
Yeah, and then
But some of it's with the recording process. Some of it's like, you can't always fix it.
yeah, no, I definitely. What are you like with the EQs that you're using? Like when you EQ directly on the vocal, is it always Fab Filter on both, or are you using like a Pultec, or are you using
No,
anything?
most of the time on the actual vocal track, I'm using like a SSL channel strip.
Nice.
So it's like EQing with knobs first,
Hmm.
and then into the vocal bus, which usually has. I use Tizio's chain a lot, where it goes from the Fab Filter to adding some high end, and then from there to a compressor, and then there to the neutron EQ, and then from there to uh Arvox to push it a little more, and from Arvox to soothe, or Arvox to de-esser to soothe to C2, and then C2 to a final Fab Filter to grab whatever. That's a lot, but yeah.
No, I mean that's like I feel like that's most people, when we say like less is more, it's not necessarily less plugins. I think it's easy to say less plugins to people that are maybe just starting out engineering because they tend to kind of just throw a bunch of stuff on there without any direction. But yeah, a lot of the people that are big mixing engineers you might use a lot of plugins. They're just like not, when we say less is more, it's just each plugin is doing very minimal
I was
things.
about to say I might use like an EQ, and it's literally got like two tiny moves just on that one EQ, but without opening it, it looks like I'm just using a ton of EQ, you know what I mean?
Yeah. If you open some of my sessions, you'll be like, "Oh, damn, there's hella plugins on the vocals." But then when you go in, it's like they're each doing something very, very small.
Or even a plugin that you put on without doing anything because it's changed the sound somehow. Like it added character or something. Like I don't know, like the Shadow Hills compressor on the mix bus. It actually sounds a little better without even touching a knob. Like you just put it on there, and then it sounds a little better.
Yeah, that reminds me. Well, two things. One, that you remind me of this trick that I used to do on my two bus, which I'll show people here. But Yeah, there's sometimes where like I'll have, you know, another compressor on the vocal or something, like there's multiple compressors, and then I like bypass one to see if it sounds better, and then it does. And then if you make that plugin inactive, it just doesn't sound like it did when it was bypassed, and it's just whatever algorithm is in that plugin that's still passing the signal through it, even though it's on bypass, kind of changes it. But I used to do that. I used to do that with the Saturn on the 2 bus. I would hit the HQ, like the high quality, so it's oversampling, and then just bypass the plugin, and it'll still just go through the oversampling of the plugin, and it doesn't really add anything. It just, I don't even know how to explain it. It adds like a different depth to the mix. Sometimes it
So
works.
even with a bypass, it's still doing something.
Yeah. So it's still,
Oh.
it's just like if you were to send something through a piece of hardware that's in bypass, like it still goes through the hardware, so you still get like
Okay,
that
okay.
sound. So yeah, whatever algorithm that they're putting in the plugin, and we've like A and B'd this a bunch, because this happened like a while back when I was in session with Ali once, and he had some plugins that he ended up bypassing, and we were, you know, printing the mix to send off, and I printed 2 versions because me being the assistant, I'm like, dude, I want to clean up all these plugins that we're not using. But also me being worried it was going to affect the sound, I just kind of sent them 2 versions, and we picked the one with the bypass plugin every time. So
That's crazy.
yeah,
I'm
super
actually
random.
going to try that in the next day or so.
Dude, I did that. This literally happened to me probably last week. I had a compressor on that I ended up bypassing, and then when I tried to like take it away complete, I mean, it's a small change, but like when you're at the end of your mix and it's like you're really just kind of tightening up those like 0.2s and all those things that you want to do, I just couldn't, like, I couldn't part with it. I had to leave it in bypass to keep it how I was hearing it.
That was a gem. So
That's
y'all better
that's a
be
gem.
paying attention.
That's a gem for y'all. For
'Cause-
y'all, I know we were talking, but what I was showing up here is just the Saturn, and I didn't change any settings on here. I just clicked the HQ and then put it in bypass, and you can A and B that inactive and active on your mixes, and you'll hear a difference. But yeah, try that out at home. All right, so let's see who we got next on here. Music Hall. I know you're here a lot as well. Oh, there you are right there. I see you already posted. I see you're in there. So Music Hall's looking for vibe, lyrics, mix clarity, pretty much everything. They're the artist and the engineer for this song. And it looks like this song is called My City Jukin'. And let's download this and throw this in Pro Tools. All right, cool. And there's a lot of submissions coming in. We'll get to as many as we can. We are doing 2 hours today instead of 1. And Shane's gonna kick it with us for both hours. So thanks to Shane for taking time out of his day to come be a part of our community. All right, let's play this one from the top. It's called My City Jukin' by Music Hall.
You know I'm coming for everything that I plan for. You know I'm counting up hundreds, I hear my dance on. You know this TB, this Florida, this what we stand for. You know this TB, this Florida, this straight from Tampa. I'm at the house, sitting on the damn porch. Remember days I would sleep right out the damn door. To go from broke to rich, you gotta transform. Fucking Wi-Fi up to them bands pour. Young trapper ever since I had a Jansport. Know the hustle so well, could ride a damn course. Passing that sack back and forth like this a hand sport. Shanghai noon, had to get my head up out of dirt. At a young age, I set for school and put my hustle first. Couldn't get caught by my peoples, had to hide the word. To be a diamond in the rough, you gotta survive the worst. And if you come to my city, you gon' really learn. You want the joy in the sauce, come to Tampa. 1,000 P, that no problem, come to Tampa. Hey, Celine in the back for my Phantoms. She got that monkey in that ass, go bananas. Yeah, she twerking in the street, this is Tampa. Yeah, the plug on every street, this is Tampa. Living life every day, yeah, we my city jukin'. It's a party every day, my city jukin'.
All right, so that was Jukin. What are you hearing, Shane?
I see them saying, y'all think it might be in the wrong key,
Yeah, I saw that too.
but I don't know about that. But low key, I just listened to it actually made me want to hear more autotune.
Yeah,
That's just like I don't know. I felt like this type of song is like an auto-tuney song. I felt like it could have used. I don't even know if there is any on there. I'm sure there is, but some more auto-tune and I don't know. Just it wasn't boring, but it was a little like I needed something. Like,
yeah, I was thinking the same. For me, it would just felt like the beat was repetitive. Like it could have some like dropouts or some instruments could fall out in certain spots to kind of like create a flow of the record. It felt like it was kind of pretty stagnant all the way through. But I hear what you're saying as far as like it's not boring. It just there's not a lot of switch up going on.
Yeah.
And then for me, I agree with you. I think the type of record it is, like it definitely calls for more tune, just like tonally for me. It sounded like there was tune on there, just not like like the retune probably wasn't like super high up there. So maybe turn the retune speed up a little bit on that. The drums for me sounded like, and it could be like you can see there's probably like some sort of limiter or something going on. It sounded like the drums were just squashed in it for me, and then the bass sounds good, but there really isn't like a transient to the bass. So I don't know, musical. I know you said you were the artist and the engineer. I don't know if you were producing or not as well, or if you have the stems, but I feel like if a kick was added on top of the bass line, we could get like some sort of transient, which would like add to the rhythm of the record a little bit and the bounce. But other than that, I felt like the drums are a little buried, so I did this boost here just for the snare to come out a little bit. The hi-hats are pretty loud, so it's really more of like the snare for me, and like adding a kick maybe, or getting the transient of the bass to come out a little more. And then for me, it just felt like things could be a little bit wider just to create a little bit more space. I know it's like a chaotic kind of production and stuff, so maybe like a little stereo imaging might create like a tiny bit more space for the vocal to sit with the hi-hats. I feel like the hi-hats and the vocal are kind of, they're not like masking each other, but it's like I have to choose which one to pay attention to more. So even maybe bringing the hi-hats down or adding like some sort of saturation to it to kind of give them a little bit different color or something that separates them a little bit. But otherwise, yeah, I felt like everything sounded pretty decent. What's the chat saying?
Right tune, just needs more of it. Love the sub bass. Wrong mix. Right, I feel like needs more processing. That was confusing.
Yeah, that one's a little confusing for me. It does. I see somebody say that
better
that,
beat.
Yeah, it says reminds me of Yeet and Young Thug at the same time. I can hear that as well. I see Kemya said you got to listen to it a few times, but it grows on. And I felt like the same way when it first started. I was like, oh, I don't know if this is my type of thing. But then like halfway through the song, I was like, oh, this shit kind of banging.
Yeah, I just needed some more sauce.
Yeah, just
get creative with it. Just
yeah, it did feel a little safe.
Some beat chops, some stutters, reverb throws, just some.
Yeah, musical. I don't, like I said, I don't know if you're the producer also, or if you like know the producer or get stems or whatever. But yeah, I would say definitely try to mess with the sequencing of the beat, like the arrangement a little bit, and try to like build high energy moments and break some down so that the high energy moments feel even more impactful. But yeah, I thought otherwise it was pretty solid.
Who we got next?
All right, so next is, who is the Metro?
Metro.
Yeah, Metro. Metro, put a thumbs up. Put a thumbs up in the chat if you're here. We'll wait on that for a couple of seconds. Metro, if we don't hear from you, we'll move on to the next song.
What's that plug-in on the master you got? The one with the P?
Oh, this is just a PAZ analyzer. We were just looking at it was I think like a week or two ago. We were just looking at whether or not this low like this kick low end had stereo information or not. I really don't use this one that often as far as like trying to see the spectral stuff, but if you do switch the tech thing to RMS, sometimes it helps out.
I look at the radar. It kind of looks like that on the my Clarity M, the little outboard thing that you plug in and
Oh yeah,
put the plug in on the master.
yeah.
I look at it's kind of like that, but I'll look at that sometimes. Not really. Honestly, most of my mixing comes from. I have so many people ask me like, like, how did you get good at mixing? And I'm just like, dude, I just know what sounds good. I have no technical background, like, and people be acting like I'm some big time engineer. I'm like, no, bro, I just be in here working and I know what sounds good and doesn't sound good. And if I can't get it to sound good, I try to figure it out.
Yeah, I think you kind of hit it on the head there. It's like you could learn what each plugin does. You could be like super like tech friendly and stuff, and it helps. But like the quickest way to get better as an engineer is just for your ear to get better. So everybody starts with like a different starting point. But if you're able to like for me when I first started working with Ali, I think there's a lot of benefits to that, but the biggest benefit right away was like being able to hear those type of mixes that are like top notch, but also in the rooms that they're mixing in, and then being able to like at the end of the night play a mix that I was working on at the house or something and like hear it in that room and hear how different and what sounds different and why, and then figuring out, okay, after a while your ears start like just kind of training themselves to what sounds good and what doesn't, and that's kind of what creates your taste. And doesn't really matter what tools you use to get there, but if you have whatever you want that sound to sound like, if you know what you want it to sound like, you'll eventually get there. You just gotta dig through the toolbox.
It also takes more time than people like realize. Somebody's wanting to figure out how to do so much stuff in such a short amount of time when you got to realize, like I tell people all the time, like I've been doing this almost 10 years and I've never worked with any big artists. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like
that's pretty cool. I mean, before I ended up getting the opportunity to work with Ali, I was engineering for like 15 years. So
yeah,
you just got to be ready.
People don't think that's normal, but it is. It's pretty normal.
Yeah, you just gotta be ready. Like whenever the moment happens, you gotta like have the balls to dive into that moment. Some people are scared and they're just like, I don't want to like fail, so they don't even do it, which is probably the biggest mistake. But yeah, I mean, it's just being prepared for whenever that moment happens. Some people it happens right away. Some people your opportunity comes later, but definitely just take advantage whenever that time does come. Just take advantage of that. I did see Who Is the Metro in the chat. I loaded up the song here. It's called Oh My God. So basically they're saying that the song is already out, but they're just looking on general feedback on the low end and the clarity of the mix and master and anything else we hear regarding this one. So let's play this from the top. So just instrumental is what I'm hearing. I see Who Is the Metro in IG Live saying that this is not right. I don't know if you just submitted wrong or not, but your name is on this record, so this is what you submitted. I don't know. But yeah, he's saying you should just stop it. So I don't know. I don't know if we want to get feedback on that one or not. But
He said he cut the.
yeah,
I cut out the vocals for. Oh well.
I was
yeah.
so confused.
That was
Yeah.
confused. I was confused too. I was
a
like,
little confused. All right, well, cool. We'll jump into the next one. All right, so we have Herrera 21, David Herrera. Throw a thumbs up in the chat if you're here. They just want overall mixed feedback. But yeah, throw a thumbs up in the chat, David Herrera.
that makes so much sense. He said, I used RX Music Rebalance to remove the vocals, and that's why you were getting that weird sound in it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, something sounded a little crazy.
It was like a roller coaster.
Who said
Yeah.
edge?
Oh, that was the shard.
What'd he say?
I was
Said
wondering.
edge runner type beat.
Yeah, I was wondering if anybody caught that. I saw it coming. That's funny.
Where?
David Herrera, are you in here? We'll give you 1 more second or so.
What's up, Rick?
I like that. It's just, what's up, Rick? That's it. That's all that we got.
Rick A says Shane wasn't my guy was good.
All right, so I have not seen David Herrera in here yet. So
He's here.
Oh,
You
saw him?
cannot send a link
Yeah,
through the
I
chat.
think his name is Runic, because he just said "here, sir" twice when you said, "Are you here?"
Oh,
What chat?
yeah, Runic. He is here.
Oh yeah,
YouTube.
I see it. Okay, cool. Cool. All right. So let's load this up into Pro Tools. All right, cool. All right, so this is just overall mixed feedback. We'll play this from the top.
A mis sanguditas yo siempre le pido que nunca me suelta a mí en este destino. A los comentarios yo nunca me rajo. Bendice mi vida que sigo en camino. No es fácil, la vida se ocupa atorarle. Andamos a chingazos y nunca pararle. Yo sé que no estoy donde quiero, pero para eso se ocupa buscarle. Los payasos en la cima se te arriman cuando ven que andas ganando. Y aquí nunca la aflojamos, seguiremos avanzando. Esta cosa va pa' largo y vamos a ir escalando. Le doy gracias a mi padre por la enseñanza que me dio. Y un abrazo pa' mi madre, ella sabe que la amo yo. Uy, uy, uy. Y así suena su compa Elian Contreras viejo. Humilde se tope y siempre agradecido. Todo lo que he ganado me creo bendecido. Esta es una etapa nueva de mi vida, siguiendo de frente, marcando el camino. Aquí conmigo el respeto se gana. Mucho ruido hacen los que no traen nada. Yo sé que no estoy donde quiero, pero para eso se ocupa buscarle. En la vida nada es fácil, se ocupa atorarle y estar a chingazo. Y Aquí nunca le aflojamos, seguiremos avanzando. Esta cosa va para largo y vamos a ir escalando. Le doy gracias a mi padre por la enseñanza que me dio. Y un abrazo pa' mi madre, ella sabe que la amo yo.
Kim, yeah, you're crazy for that comment. That's hilarious. What are you hearing, Shane?
The guitars sound dope. Honestly, what would have made it better was some chips and salsa right here in
Oh
front
my
of me.
God. I'm hungry right now. Don't do that to me. I'm hungry. I didn't get my lunch yet.
But I mean, without knowing what he's saying, it still, it sounds good. Like everything, he sounds like he knows what he's doing as far as singing, and I guess you could, you wouldn't call it rapping, but singing, I guess. And the guitar sounded cool. So
yeah, I mean, I listen to a lot of corridos music, so guitars are like the main attraction to that type of music. For me, and I saw somebody in the chat post that the vocals could be brighter. I disagree. I think, yeah, maybe in like hip hop and stuff like that for sure. But if you listen to like corridos records, there's not like a lot of top end in the vocals normally in those mixes. Normally, like what I was hearing, at least in this, was normally in this type of music, the guitars are like very plucky and bright. And the guitar sounded good. I just felt like it could be like widened out. And then I did a little parallel with Transient Designer to try to get those like plucks of the guitar to kind of poke through a little bit more, just because that's what I hear a lot in that genre of music. That's what this sideband boost was, just to try to widen the guitars out to like make space for the vocals a little bit. But yeah, normally in this genre, at least what I hear is the vocals have their own space in the middle and the guitars are like big and bright and on the sides. So there's not a lot of top end usually in the vocals in this genre. The low end, and it's live, but it feels like it could be controlled a little bit more. I boosted this here just to kind of try to kind of give it its own space, but I feel like you could probably compress it a little bit and control it a little bit more. But yeah, otherwise I thought it sounded really good. Guitar sounded good. Pretty close to what I hear usually in this genre of music. So yeah, good job there. Shane, do you ever listen to Latin music of any sort, or do you work on any?
I have a couple of guys that I mix for actually that are more, it's rap, but it's all in Spanish. And so I actually have one guy that comes in and actually records with me that does not speak any English.
Oh, nice.
And all of our communication is just we both know what we're doing. So
No,
like
that's good. That's good.
it's like it's hand signals and like it's interesting. I need to do like a live video on that. It would be
That would be awesome, because it's like even with English speaking artists that you have, right? It's like some people have certain tells. Like some people might be like one more again, or some people might be like or some people might not say anything,
Yes.
and you like, no, okay, we got to redo it, and you don't have to ask them, and you can kind of just jump to it. I think Tizio used to talk about that with Chris Brown a lot. He would just be certain phrases that he would say that are like, to the average person, probably unclear what he wants, but Tizio's worked with him so long that he just knows right away. That's like a very like valuable tool to have as your artist engineer. That's what keeps you with that artist. That'd be
Yeah.
cool. You should do some content on that. That'd be cool. All right. So next up is Harry Otaku. Harry, you're always in here. I already saw you in here, Harry. Let's get this downloaded for you. This is just mix and arrangement feedback. And it looks like it's called Put It On. So we'll download this real quick.
Yeah, don't be scared to comment, man. Ask a question.
Yeah, now's your chance to ask ask Shane some secrets, man. Throw them in the chat.
Secrets. Hard work and dedication.
Actually, that's that's a very good. It's not a
It's so
secret,
funny.
but good advice.
The amount of people that think the amount of people that think there's some secret sauce. Only Ivan has the secret sauce.
Yeah, only Ivan. He has everybody's secret sauce.
Literally.
All right, so this is called "Put It On." This is by Harry Otaku. Let's play this one from the top.
Hey, Harry.
Fire beat. Harry always has fire beats. What are you hearing, Sam?
I'm about to say, I know it's fire because literally the whole time that shit was playing, me and Hunter were freestyle.
Yeah. That's how you know it's good. That's literally how you know it's good every time. Like if you can't help yourself but freestyle, you did a good job. Harry always has a fire ass
Yeah,
shit coming in.
it sounded good. Yeah.
Yeah. So Harry, all I was hearing is just like mixed stuff. So I try to mess with this a little bit. It's tough without stems and whatnot, but the low end, like the kick and the bass, just felt a little fat to me. You might be able to like compress it or control it just a little bit more. That's why I threw this on there. It did an okay job, but with your stems separated, you probably should just do this on the bass. Maybe not even with the MB. The MB is a cool tool. Maybe try that out. And the MB is a cool tool for where like if you clamp down with like the compression and then you can like boost the output so you kind of like even out the signal. Sometimes I use that like for top end on vocals to try to keep it from being too harsh when you're boosting the top end, but maybe try that if you want. But yeah, really just like control the low end. And then the only other thing was the string that comes in felt a little like dead to me. I tried to throw this on here, but this is like on the whole mix, so it didn't really work as well. But maybe try something like this, like a radiator or some sort of saturator in parallel, and get like a little bit of like a tone out of that string, so it sounds a little bit more exciting when it comes in. Otherwise, I felt like everything sounded good.
I don't have that plug-in. Do you like it?
The radiator?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a Sound Toys joint. We use the radiator. There was a time like where me, Ali, and Cyrus were messing with it in parallel on a bunch of different things, vocals, things like that. It's like if you boost the treble knob a little too much, it gets to be a little fried a little bit. And I always use it in parallel. This mic versus line thing is just like on like an SSL board, so you'll get like a different pickup and a different color out of this. So if you put mic on, you'll get like a lot more of this plugin color. I usually leave it on line and then take noisy off so there's no like hiss or hum. But normally when I do in parallel, I like to boost the input and bring the output down and kind of just play with these until I like the tone I'm getting out of it. Sometimes I'll boost the treble a little bit, but if you go too far with the treble, it gets a little too fried on the top end. But it does add like a lot of color and character to things. So if you have something that just sounds like, like a stock sound or something, it's just not like super exciting, it definitely adds it adds some color and things to your sound.
The saturator I use the most for all kinds of stuff, vocals and other things, is the SSL. It's the SSL saturator, the V6.
Oh yeah,
something.
I haven't used that. That's your go-to.
Sounds good on vocals. Yeah, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I feel like I play with I think I get like stuck in like like a time period where I'll do like 4 or 5 mixes, or I'll do like a whole album or whatever, and I'm using like a certain saturator, and then I'll kind of like want to switch it up for the next project or something, and I'll just try something different. But the decapitator I use a lot. That radiator I'll throw in there every now and then. I used to use Saturn a little bit, but not as much anymore.
The decapitator sounds good on like some bass guitar.
Yeah. Actually, decapitator on bass guitar, and also that UAD Moog XL plugin on like live basses and things like that sound really good. Do you have UAD?
Not some of them, not all of them.
Yeah.
I just go through and buy the ones that I want and
check out or demo or trial that Moog XL. I've even used it on like sub basses and stuff, but it'll like put the bass, like it almost feels like it puts it in phase a little bit better. Not that that's actually what it's doing, it just feels that way. Like it almost like kind of like creates a whole like shape of the bass, and then that bass is like definite. It like sounds that way, so it's not like
I'm looking at the 3 right now. Which one is it?
It's the Moog XL.
Okay, I see it.
Yeah, so that one, I mean, there's some cool things you could do with it, as far as like they have like a mono knob on there, and they have like some other stuff in there as well. But yeah, I find that like if I feel like my bass is like a little out of control, or like a little fat, or just like kind of like sloppily in the mix, I throw that on there, and it kind of tightens things up a little bit.
But
all right, so next up we have this is Gene Mark, and I seen you in here, so we'll download this. So Gene Mark mixed and mastered this record. It's a Latin reggaeton song that he did. He specified he had full stems when mixing. Just looking for mix and master feedback. Said he hasn't heard a pro engineer give feedback. So Shane, this is on you, my boy. All right.
Bet.
I think it's called Sin Coro, but I could be butchering that. Who knows? All right, let's load this into the Pro Tools. All right, cool. Let's give this one a listen from the top.
Libera el reo antes de que para la foto termine bien feo. Tírame en el día en que lo leo. Veo, abre los ojos para el marreo. Cabete y para la carrera decimos tete. No llegues solo, tráete el convete. Resiste al diablo cuando te rete. Que para el que se quede lo que ella fuerte. Bendito mijo, no descifra nunca el acertijo. Si en el nombre de los tres yo me dirijo. En la cruz su sacrificio me bendijo. Por eso siempre a Jesús elijo. Que no se decile la fe, di paciente esperaré. Al enemigo tú dile pa' afuera que no te invité. La salvación me la dieron por gracia, yo no la compré. Y lo entendí cuando en la mirada en el madero fijé. Que no se decile la fe, di paciente esperaré. Al enemigo tú dile pa' afuera que no te invité. La salvación me la dieron por gracia, yo no la compré. Y lo entendí cuando en la mirada en el madero fijé. Sobrepasé la crisis, mi corazón ardiendo nunca frisí. El que no cree dice que soy explícito. En las cosas de papá me encuentro busy. Te traigo una bomba para fincar como dice Messi. Cuando no vaya, que cuando se presente en la batalla y el diablo se te pase de la raya, no vas a tener suficiente agallas. A la lógica no le veo falla. Utilizando este foro, pagan rimas como meteoro. Lo que Cristo hizo lo tesoro. Solo en su presencia yo mejoro. Y pa' que me entienda, este tema lo hice sin coro. Que no se decile la fe, di paciente esperaré. Al enemigo tú dile pa' afuera que no te invité. La salvación me la en el madero fije. Ey, Will, el Salmita, Salmita Records, TM Family Music. Dile, J Cross, le cambiamos el juego.
Hey, that's fire.
Yeah, amazing song. What are you hearing, Shane, as far as from mix and master notes?
I thought it would have been dope if the vocal had like a quarter note or even like an eighth note delay ping pong on the vocal. I don't know. For me, I love putting that on vocals, and just it kind of makes it feel a little wider. But with how bouncy the song was, I feel like it would have been dope having that on there. And then I also noticed, like, and as far as like the vocal recording, sounds like it's really good. And the high end on the vocals is not poking out at all. It sounds nice and rounded. Yeah, I mean, it sounded great. I loved it.
Great. Yeah. I actually, I don't really have many notes on it. I felt like it was mixed pretty well. The vocals sound good. They're like you said, they're not too much top end. I feel like some of I mean, mainly in like rap and hip hop, there's just a lot of fried top end in vocals. Like if you go back to, early 2000s, even into like 2010, like the early Drake stuff, like the top end is way different than what you hear now on like a Drake record. And I think we've kind of been forced to like move with the music, but to me, it always sounds better when the vocals aren't harsh. And there's ways to like make them exciting without adding so much top end to them. So I really like Latin genres of music and their mixes because they're able to be able to do that, like bring things forward and make things sound polished and exciting, but they don't sound harsh. I really like the like the drums poking through. I think the transients are super nice. The vocals feel like a touch low to me. Could just be me and my personal preference, but they just feel like a touch low, not to where like they're buried or anything, but just I feel like they could come up a little bit. I did want to see what happens if I mess with this this ozone maximizer a little bit though.
Me la dieron por clase, yo no la compré. Y lo entendí cuando la miré en el madero. Fíjate, este palabreo es para que se libere el reo. Antes de que para la foto termine bien feo. Tírame en el día en que lo leo. Veo, abre los ojos para el marreo. Cabete y por la carrera decimos tete. No llegues solo, tráete el combate. Resista al diablo cuando te rete. Que para el que se quede, lo que ella es fuerte. Perdiste, mijo. No descifra nunca el acertijo. Si en el nombre de los tres yo me dirijo. En la cruz su sacrificio me bendijo. Por eso siempre a Jesús elijo. Que no se decile la fe. Di paciente, esperaré. Al enemigo tú dile pa' afuera que no te invité. La salvación me la dieron por gracia, yo no la compré. Y lo entendí cuando la mirada en el madero.
Yeah, nothing crazy. This plugin, when you use like this IRC3 with the crisp setting, it just kind of widens things a little bit and makes things like a little bit more rich sounding. I was just curious to see what it sounded like, to see if the vocals kind of poke through a little bit more. I feel like they did a little bit, but yeah, Gene Mark sounds really, really good. I mean, you'd be good with where it's at right now, but yeah, the only thing I was hearing is maybe like the vocals are a tiny bit quiet, or you can like widen the music a little bit to kind of give the vocals a little bit more space where they're already at level wise. But amazing job. The drums, everything sounds really good.
I wish that Ozone 10 had a maximizer, had the thing that the 11 has, upward compression.
Oh,
it has the upward compression knob.
Yeah, that's like the upward compression thing is like a new
I like that.
Yeah, no, it's upward compression always sounded good to me. Like I don't really master that much, so like I know lately like there's a lot of content out there on like upward compression and mastering to like get loudness and not squash things, which I've heard it works really well.
I've actually used it in a weird way, which I don't know if anyone else has done this, but if I'm ever recording somebody on a 2-track where like all of the music is super low and the kick is standing out more than anything, other than just like some EQ to try to help it, is upward compression, which is going to bring up all the music and keep the kick where it is.
Right. Yeah. I think what I've been seeing, at least on like the content stuff that I see, is like for that basically that same reason is like if you're using like a limiter, you're bringing the music up, but you're squashing the already loud information, which usually is the kick and the bass. So it's like a way to bring all that up without losing your or squashing
Yeah.
your kick transient.
Yep.
But I feel like I should just start getting into mastering and figure out how to do it.
Might as well.
It's 2025, right?
You said your best friend is a mastering engineer. Who are you talking about?
Nick De Porcel, $1 Million Snare.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we grew up together.
That's dope.
Yeah, great job, Gene Mark. I see you in there. I see you said that the mix that you tamed the vocals a little bit in the master. Yeah, I mean try going back to your mix and just or going back to your master and taking that part of your mastering chain out where you were trying to like lower the vocals a little bit or tame them, and maybe see if that sounds better. If not, keep it the way it is. It doesn't sound bad at all the way it is. All right, so the next person that I see on here is Kino J. Throw a thumbs up in the chat if you're here. I'll give you a couple seconds to let us know you're here. If not, we'll move on. Also, if you're just joining, big shout out to Shane for joining the stream, giving his feedback and his expertise. My man's done a lot of sessions, a lot of projects, and they all sound good. And he is also an entrepreneur, self-built, put in that work.
When did engineers go live for people to get on and start counting projects and all that?
Oh man,
What year?
I don't even.
Because I wish I would have been on before, dude. Like,
I mean,
everything changed.
The project count, I feel like wasn't added like too far before you jumped on. Like the initial like super beta versions of the site, we weren't really, at least we weren't displaying, like we were counting projects on the back end, but I don't think that they were being displayed.
Okay. It would just be cool to see like the count of how many sessions I've done in 9 years.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean,
Like
dude, I'm
thousands
pretty sure
and thousands.
I'm like my engineer ID on there is 3. So like I've been around since like the jump from that, and I think I'm at like 275 projects. So yeah, you're definitely killing it, my friend.
It's a lot.
All right, so we have Kino J. He did say what's up in the chat. Song's called In the Zone. I'm just downloading now. We'll throw it into Pro Tools and get some ears on this. It looks like just overall mix and song feedback. It's not mastered yet. That's what it says in the notes. Let's make sure this is there.
Throw a meter on there, like WLM or.
How about this?
Oh, or that. I don't have that one. I've thought about getting it, but
I actually, dude, I used to use the WLM a lot, and then I like switched to this one, and I just kind of haven't really ever switched back.
Well, no, I don't use anything now. This Clarity M that I have.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You were saying
I don't even have to use a plugin anymore. That's helped a lot.
Yeah, I'm not. The thing is that I don't really even pay attention to meters at all when I mix. It's more of at the end when I know like a client is going to ask me, like, for some reason, it's like a thing nowadays to be like, what LUFS is this at? And for me, I don't know why that matters in the mix process. Like, yeah, mastering, I could see you wanting to be like, what's the LUFS at? But in the mix, it doesn't really matter because mastering is going to get it to where it needs to go anyway. But I do like that it shows LUFS. It shows all of that in here. It has the integrated and the short term and all that, like just all the time for you. So I think it's kind of nice that way. But yeah, I feel like I like was with TZO once, and he pulled this up on the session, and then I was like, oh, let me try that because I have it, and I was like, let me try it out, and I just haven't really ever gone back to anything else since this one.
It's because he does his in like stages. Like he works with the kick first, and he said he likes the kick to hit at like a certain luff, and before he goes to something else, and
yeah, I think Jason Joshua does a similar thing where he's trying to hit like -5 or something like that, not on luffs, but peak wise and things, and he uses his metering for that. I think actually I use like Pro Tools meters just to like have a starting point to where like I know going into my 2-bus, because I don't really do any like 2-bus processing until like, I don't know, maybe halfway to 3/4 of the way through my mix. So I just like to make sure I have enough headroom to where I know once I get to that stage, there's enough headroom for me to do some things. All right, so this is Kino J, In the Zone. Let's play this from the top.
like it. Get a body that belong to me. Come put it down on me, yeah. You rock your hips like it's do or die. You said it do and I must comply. I love your style and bring the vibe. Ain't gonna take it down low. I beg you bring it up slow. The way you move, girl, it turn me on. You got me hooked, I can look beyond. I don't know what's going on, but it feels so far from wrong. You got me in that zone, I won't let go. I feel the music in my soul. And the way that you do that got me on. No. And the look when you give me, baby, let me lose control. I know you got me in the zone. I know you got me in the zone. Yeah. And the
This
way
gives.
that you do that.
One second, Sam. My bad. 1 second. Let me just-
No, you're good.
In the zone. I know you got me in the zone. Yeah. And the way that you do that got me.
You were saying, Shane?
This gives me major like Chris Brown, DeVito vibes, and I love like the little ad libs, the high pitch ad libs that are kind of like reverbed in the back, and then I love the layers. I do think the layers could come down a little bit so they're not like clashing so hard with the mains. I don't know if that is what you're going for or whatever. That's just if I was mixing it, that's just what I would do. But no, the song is dope, and the vibe of the song is dope, and it had me, it had me bumping in my seat over here. So
Yeah, no, the song is a vibe. I really like the song is super I would listen to the song personally just in my own playlist and shit. I agree with you. I when the vocal stacks first came in, I was like, "Oh, these are really nice." Like as far as like the stacks themselves are blended well. They do feel a little loud for me, but I know some people that's like the sound they're going for. I would just say if that, if you want to keep them loud, maybe just do a little extra EQ work in the upper mids to the top end, just so the lead vocal doesn't feel like it's not the lead anymore in those moments. You can still keep them loud, but if the lead vocal has a little bit, like if they're a little darker than the lead vocal, then they can still be loud and not kind of overtake the mix a little bit. For me, it felt like I like how the vocals sound. They just feel a little on top of the record for me. And I don't think necessarily like you got to turn down, specific things or anything like that. I really feel like records like this, the kick has to be the anchor of the song. And so I boosted this frequency at 60 hertz to get the kick to come through more. But yeah, I would make sure that kick is like tight and like prominent as kind of like the anchor of the record. These couple frequencies were just like high frequencies I was hearing in the vocals. Mainly, this one's mainly just background vocals. I tried to pull them down a little bit because, like you were saying, Shane, they felt a little loud to me. And then this is just overall vocal. This is like 4770, so almost 5K. I just did a little dip just on this one frequency I was hearing. And then this little boost in the sides is just for the musical element that's in the beat. And this is like a little like mastering trick too. I think I mentioned it on here before, but sometimes mastering will boost like the sides in like the 250-ish range to kind of get perceived volume. For me, I did it because the instrument itself is more in this register, like underneath the vocals frequency wise. And with the background vocals being so wide, I wanted the music to compete with that. So I just boosted the sides of this frequency range is where that instrument plays. And it did pretty well. But yeah, I would say maybe try to widen and bring up that musical element. And then make sure that kick is like a strong anchor, and everything else sounds pretty good to me.
I could definitely hear around that 4K, 5K that you dipped out.
Yeah, it's like in like it's in moments like it doesn't bother me, and then other moments it does. I feel like when the backgrounds come in, they add because they are also in that range, they kind of add a little too much. But yeah, it sounded a little bit cleaner to me there. But overall, good job. I don't know if it's Keno or Kino, but great job. Song is amazing. Whenever this song is out, let me know so I can go cop that song because that song is fire.
You just got to master it for him.
Yeah, with my great mastering skills. All right, so Next up is Chemaph, and I've seen you in here. He's got the funniest comments of the night. General feedback, improvements, production, etc. This is called Violate, and it is mastered. Let me just load this up into Pro Tools.
Was it mixed by one person and mastered by one person, or mixed and mastered by the same person? Comment in the chat.
Yeah, Chemaph, let us know. I feel like nowadays everybody's like, can you mix master my record? Like it's like one job.
Yep, it is, because no one wants to go through extra steps, and artists are lazy.
Yeah, I would be curious to know, like,
There's multiple reasons.
dude, I would be curious to know, like, when the first, like, recording session just decided to throw the whole kitchen sink on the tube bus to, like, basically master the recording without it being mixed. I would, like, really want to know who started that, because I feel like that just kind of, like, ruined mixing a little bit. Just a little bit.
I'm sure everybody in that session was like, what the hell are you doing?
Can you make it louder? There's like, oh shit, I don't know. He had like a friend who was a mastering engineer. He's like, shit, I'm just gonna throw this limiter on there. All right, so yeah, let's play this one from the top.
Girl, I wish you think it's slowly. When you with me, you ain't gotta be broken. So come closer, ain't nothing to be worried about. So just hold me. Don't you worry.
Yeah. Coloque mi haga commando. You violate toko boma yo. Ain't no debates toko boma yo. Na mwasina yo, na banana yo. All we know is war. Ogun in our soul, Shango in our homes. On this warrior road. Congo versus the world till it's Congo world. No other worlds, every tongue will know. Every knee shall bow to this Bantu blood that's upon this throne. Realign our goals, aim them at your dome. See the waters flow, drown them all some more. My tsunami flow, I'm entitled though, cause my title's known. Kosi aba kosi kebana yo. For I Simon glow and make my pygmies whoa. Look, don't make me scared, uno pop. Me pass my judgment, I'm with palm so pussy hole, so it go. Uno wake up the dragon, don't duck on smoke. Yeah, make me take what we're owed. Yeah, in my way, that's a soul. Yeah, look, sight in my hand, don't get crap, pussy hole. Older than set in the era set. Don't set trip with me, cause I'm sick in the head.
Set trip, next bitch, hit a switch off. When it late show in the club, watch him hitch off. No love, no more hard rip though. Nice guys finish last, can't allow the slits though. We was OT, White Town in a pickup. Used to take the gold trains, now planes. Violation. If you ever keep me wait, pray stay away from sin. Watch your slime balls, bottom of the barrel. Catch a slime ball, watch his eyes look down the barrel. You admit it till you can't look yourself in the mirror. They ain't gon' love you till you gone and you buried. I started losing niggas when I put me first. Talk to God every night, don't need church. Go through it all the time, is it karma or I'm cursed? He's a pain, roll the pape, she gon' pot these purse. More, small more, take off from her. Live by, die by, rather jers than her. She ain't one for me, all she care about purse. She ain't one for me, if the cloud come first. We gon' jump through roads, we gon' switch roles. Me and bros locked in, always switch phones. I'ma drive up, so you can drive home. All we had is hope, phones, fiends, and the door.
You violate toko boma yo. Ain't no debates toko boma yo. Na mwasina yo, na banana yo. All we know is war. Ogun in our soul, Shango in our homes. On this warrior road. Congo versus the world till it's Congo world. No other worlds, every tongue will know. Every knee shall bow to this Bantu blood that's upon this throne. Realign our goals, aim them at your dome. See the waters flow, drown them all some more. My tsunami flow, I'm entitled. Now yo, for I Simon glow and make my pygmies whoa. Look, don't make me scared, uno pop. Me pass my judgment, I'm with palm soap.
I like how that ends right there.
That's funny.
The ending was fire. Yeah, it's. I seen somebody say, "Is it Latin night?" Yeah, it feels like Latin night, but I'm here for it. This shit is fire.
I can hear what you were doing with the. It definitely had like a little high, hissy sound, and I saw you taming that.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't as bad as I've seen, but yeah, definitely was hearing this almost 12K. I've seen lately, like at least in the last like year or so, there's just been with vocals, there just seems to be a want to boost 12K and up a lot, and I'm not a big fan just because that's where the hi-hats and everything sit, and it's just adding like a chalkiness to me to the vocals. It does, like, if you boost that with a shelf, like you're gonna change like the tilt shelf, so it's gonna change how the vocal fits. But there's other ways to do that for me than just boosting the top end.
I can tell you why.
I can tell you why.
because
Let us know.
it's because you see a video of somebody, because I've done it myself. That's why I'm saying you see a video of somebody mixing your favorite artist or something, and when they say and I put this on here and I boost 12K, you're like, oh, I'm gonna go do that. But the recording is completely different. The gear it was run through is completely different. You know what I'm saying? So we get in a habit of just putting shit on a track without really paying attention to, okay, what does it need? I've actually had to do that myself. Like I get caught in just putting stuff on there and not actually listening to what it needs, you know.
Yeah, I think I had mentioned that before too. Like when like buying templates and stuff to try to get to a sound that maybe you haven't, like your ears haven't developed enough to get there yet. And there's like, the 12K boost or whatever it is, but it's like I don't even know, like I've had like someone like Macy Gray or something like that, like super raspy voice, probably a lot of top end. If you're recording on a C800, there's going to be a lot of top end added to it. I always have to hear the material before, and a lot of times as a mix engineer for me, like I haven't recorded in years. I've just been doing mixing. So I get sent files, and it's like sometimes it's stems, that they export, not the session or whatever, and it's like that stuff's already baked in, and you kind of got to figure out how to tame it a little bit. You can never really get rid of it all the way once it's like baked in, but I do see it a lot, and yeah, I wish people would just kind of. I know it's like the longer path to like try to figure it out on your own and like build your own template, your own sound, but in the end, it's just a lot more efficient for me, at least.
I know you said you don't record really. What's your opinion on I'm thinking about buying a Telefunken 251, the big boy, the $12,000 mic. I thought
Uh,
about buying it next year.
I love the 251, but I mean, what mic are you on right now?
I'm on a Newman TLM 103.
Okay, so the TLM 103 is a little bit brighter than the U87. So the 251 is going to be a lot darker, but I personally like darker mics when I'm recording people, because like I would rather be able to add the top end than have to try to like
Yeah.
tame some top end that's like cooked into the recording. So yeah, it's gonna have a lot of body, but you'll be able to like tonally EQ your stuff and get it to where you want, and it'll sound a lot smoother, especially in the top end.
You think that U87 is not as bright as the 103?
No, I think
You said?
the 103 is a little brighter to me. And also it depends on like the U87 that you're using. My personal U87 is actually, so like the first mic I ever bought when I first started doing music when I was like 18 was a Rode NT1A, and
Same.
I ran in, this dude doesn't exist, or he exists, but his company doesn't exist anymore. I think it was called Octava Mods or something, but it was basically this dude that you would send him your Rode NT1A, and he just like guts it and then replaces everything in your mic except for the casing with all U87 parts. So my microphone, which still gets used, I don't do recording anymore, but it still gets used in the studio. It just has like because it's a smaller frame mic, it just has a little bit of a different sound than the actual U87. But like I've gone in sessions, like I had a session, I think I want to say it was Ruby Rose. This is back when I was recording for Hitmaker, and we had her on the C800 because that's what everybody was using in the studio that day. And she came in at the end, and like her and her team were like, no, can we switch this out for U87? And I like threw the U87 in, and it's just like so much darker than the C800. So it's not a dark mic. It's just when you have those two side by side, like the U87 sounds dark, and that should tell you how bright a C800 is. So if you're recording vocals,
Well, I might not need the Telefunken. I'm just looking for something that's not because a lot of people don't know. I've been using the 103 for years. like
I mean,
on
it sounds
every
good.
genre.
Yeah, the 103 sounds good. I mean, the way that you're manipulating the 103 sounds really good. I've heard your mixes and stuff come out, and yeah, I don't even think I would guess that you were using the TLM 103.
I might just need to get the 87.
Yeah, I mean, I would just recommend having a microphone that if you have a microphone that's like a brighter microphone, then have an option that's dark. You know what I'm saying? Just because the different
Yeah.
vocalists that come in. But if you have those two bases covered, like when I was working for Hitmaker, we could get any mic we wanted, but I always just had a C800 and a 251. So it was like, if this vocalist comes in and they sound too bright on the C800, I already had a 251 on a mic stand next to it, and we would just have them switch over and move the other mic out of the way. But yeah, especially
we kind of got off track.
Oh yeah, we definitely did. So yeah, the only other thing I was hearing in this year was there was like a frequency in the vocal at like 257, 300 or so. I felt like once I took this out a little bit, it kind of the vocal sat inside the mix a little bit better. But otherwise, the mix sounded really good to me. I wasn't hearing anything else.
We got a lot of comments when we started talking about the mic.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, mics are a hot topic, you know.
103 is nasally and present. The U87 kills the 103 in every way. 87 is super flat.
Yeah, to me, to me, I don't know. I mean, it's just really what your vocalist is. Like, I could have 5 different vocalists come in, and 3 of them are going to sound better on a U87, and 2 of them are going to sound better on a TLM 103, or vice versa, whatever it is.
A lot of people are saying the 103 is nasally. But it's funny because I've rocked that 103 for so long. I don't know. I haven't recorded anything on anything else.
Yeah, but that's just like you know, you need to just know your tools. Like, I know, like, I've done mixes on laptop speakers that are better than some other mixes out there, and it's just because I like know what things sound like when they come out of there. So it's like
that makes sense.
You use a TLM 103 and you know how to manipulate it to get it to sound good, then that mic's gonna be better for you than another mic. All right, let's move on to the next one. Don Cruz. I seen Don in the chat earlier. Don, are you still up in this chat, man?
Gosh, everybody's saying the 103 is too bright. Dang, y'all really finna make me go order one right now.
Dude, I was telling you, that's like, because I used to mess with a TLM 103 back when I was still in the Bay Area. I had like done like a little stint at I don't know, I'm older, so I don't know if people know who Smash Mouth is, but they did like the Shrek song, and I used to work in their studio, and that was the first time I used a 103, and I remember I like recorded somebody on it, and I was like, man, this thing sounds like bright and thin to me, and I like had to go get my U87, but that's just me personally. I know other people that have like great success like you do with the TLM. I just never was able to do it myself.
Y'all are convincing me. I actually might go buy one and do a YouTube video on the difference between both.
That'd actually be good. That'd be good. Do a little shootout. I see you, Don. All right, so Don is just looking for general feedback and mixed feedback on this record. Looks like it's called Runaways, and it's a master.
It's a master, like he did the master, or it's mastered?
It's mastered. I don't know.
Okay.
Don, let us know in the chat if you did the mix and the master. It just says mastered in the title, so that's what I'm going off of.
Gotcha.
While we wait on Don to respond to that, let's get this loaded.
You got to send your songs to the website above, homie.
Okay, so Don did the mix and the master, and he is also self-taught like me and you are, Shane.
Bet.
So this will be good. Let's play this from the top.
Came up off of nothing, she know how to work. I'm teaching her things she didn't know till I gave her the word. She popping a pill and she flying up high 'cause she can't get no worse. Heard a bitch had a nerve to be talking about turf. Put a hole in the shirt, I don't care about a hurt bitch. It's perfect, then it might fly out, but you don't get a Birkin. Certain things that I just won't do. Rely on myself, well, when I need you. Don't fuck with me and your dreams might just come true. I keep it low key, not as low as you do. I'm doing at the start when I cook in the booth. You want to see talent, I'm here as the proof. You want to see talent, I'm here as the truth. You want to see talent, I'm here what to do.
Came up off of nothing, I ain't never had a handout. Fools they want 'em back without a move, they wanna stand around.
Get in my way that I'm fucking your bitch and I'm breaking her back. There wasn't women when I ain't had racks. They don't believe in my dreams of a plaque. Tell me you want it, don't tell me you got it when you never have. The more you put out, the more the trash. You do the math, welcome to class. We all got a path.
I've been the one I don't like, I've been the one killing beats. I've been the one you can be, I've been the one you can be. Do you know who you gonna be? I caught a buzz, I'm a beat, the god, I'm already a G. A plus G equals I'm who they came here to see. Cause I just be chillin' and do not compete. I just be growing some money trees, I just be growing some money trees. I just be growing some money trees, yeah, I just be growing some money trees. And now the fam is shaded, and I'm the man who made it. Now the fam is shaded, now I'm the man who made it. Came up off of nothing, I ain't never had a handout. Fools they want it back without a move, they wanna stand around. I came here to run and motherfuckers always ran out. I came here to run and motherfuckers always ran out. Came up off of nothing, I ain't never had a handout. Fools they want it back without a move, they wanna stand around. I came here to run and motherfuckers always ran out. I came here to run and motherfuckers always ran out.
All right, cool. What are you hearing, Shane?
So I'm assuming it's the hook, the part where it sounds like several people.
Yeah.
You never had a handout. That whole part. It's actually a little hard to hear what you're saying. Like I can hear what you're saying, but it's just a little hard, especially when it first came in and it just boom started off. I was like, what the hell did he just say? Like the first couple words, and I had to really listen. It seems a lot. It's a little buried, in my opinion, just a little.
Yeah, I mean, I felt the same way. I think I seen somebody say that the synths are too loud. I don't know if the synths are necessarily too loud, but the upper mids of the synth, like in this like 3500 range, are like loud in that frequency range, which I think is probably what kind of gets in the way of the vocals. I was also thinking the same thing as well. I was thinking that some sort of little tightening up on the compression of some sort, or maybe even like some saturation or some sort might tighten up the vocals and give them a little bit more separation from the music a little bit. But yeah, there is some sort of like I have to choose what I want to listen to between the music and the synths, and the music and the vocals. I'm sorry. That's what I was feeling on that. I felt like the kick could cut through just a little bit more. This is like a tiny boost at 75 or so. The biggest thing for me was that the snare was super thin and bright. It sounded basically like a hi-hat to me. So I try to add this body into it here. I'd try adding some body or getting some sort of weight in the snare so it's not it just sounds like another hi-hat playing with the hi-hats to me. So I'd maybe try to get some body into the snare. And then this 200 hertz or so, I was hearing a little bit in the vocal as well. Nothing crazy. I feel like I took out probably like a dB. And then there is a frequency in the top end of the vocals at like 8500 or so. That felt like it was poking a little bit too much. That could get, sometimes that's stuff that gets brought out when you put the master on. And so if you're not able to like tame that in the master, you should go back to the mix and tame it knowing that it's going to poke out in the master. But really that's what I was hearing the most. What about for the song? How'd you feel about the song?
Song was cool. Song was dope. I like the vibe, the switch from how the hook sounded to where it was kind of wide, and then going into the verses where it was more mono, and yeah, I like the vibe of it.
Yeah, I like the song too. I thought it was a good contrast from hook to verse. Yeah, I think just the overall mix could feel a little bit warmer. It just felt a little digital to me, which I think is partly because the music is pretty prevalent in like the 3500 range. But yeah, if you smooth that out a little bit and let the vocals live there, I think the whole record will feel a little bit more cohesive. All right. So we're just gonna jump into the next one. We're just gonna keep on trucking. All right. So the next one on the list is Braden, official Braden Davidson.
So he works here at the studio. So he's
fire. I was
so
gonna
you
say
got me.
I was gonna say I know this name.
Yeah, you got me, you got Hunter, and then Braden he's very new. So he was wanting he might be watching at home. He was here earlier, but he was definitely wanting more feedback from you because he hears my feedback all the time.
He's like, I'm sick of Shane's feedback. Fuck that guy. All right, cool. Well, shit, let's pull this up and see what we got. It's called Smooth Operator New, which means there was multiple passes so far, guys. How do you be labeling your mix versions?
So when I start the Pro Tools project, I'll actually just label it the song name because I keep a folder for every artist.
Right.
So then I drop the song in the folder. And then when I go to bounce, it's the song _mix_1, and then so on.
Yeah, I like to do the decimal system. So like if I have like a mix that's just like a lot of versions because it's just like a lot, maybe it's a dense mix or like a lot of work to get everything to fit. Like I might be on like version 1.8 and it just looks like, version 1 kind of.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and then I also do that because if, like say you're working on a mix, right? And you get through like, you're through your 5th version of the mix and everything's cool. And then all of a sudden the artist is like, yo, we wanted to change something in the vocals or we wanted to add post-production. Then I'll do a save up to a 2.0. So I know that like a drastic change happened between versions.
Yeah.
All right. So this is from your boy Braden, Smooth Operator. Looks like the artist is 601 Star, I think is what it's given.
Yeah, I think this is one of his with him being new, he doesn't have a whole lot of clientele, so this is one of his reoccurring clients that he now has that he's doing work for, and he's just wanting to,
Okay, fire. Yeah, that's what you do. You know what I'm saying? Take care of your people. All right, let's play this from the top. See what we got.
Yeah, come get your nigga, bitch. I'm the smoothest operator. He know that shit. Hey, tell him, come get your nigga, bitch. I'm the smoothest operator, and he know that shit. Smooth like a Chevy Silverado. Nigga big man, cause this ain't no acting. No return, turn a good girl savage. Could've fucked cousin, but a bitch ain't average. Ooh, bullshit, nigga don't have it. Trapping with a baby, fucked around and still had it. The way I call shots, I could be a ring master. He a disgrace, turn his ass to a bastard. He like, hey, come here, sit on my face. The way he been moving, I feel out of place. Get on your knee, nigga, look at my face. Show me you want me, I'm not finna trade. Back to this shit, I'ma go get some money. Nigga be talking, ain't coming with fan. Disrespect me, smack his ass with a stat. Bending it over, 6 from the back. Sex real good like I need him. When I know anytime I leave him. I been trying to love, but my heart dark blue. Colder than the ice, it glue. Record with a force, I ain't really nothing nice. Reason ain't worried about you. Real shit, boss bitch, no legion. Who the fuck are you? Hey, come get your nigga, bitch. I'm the smoothest operator, and he know that shit. Tell her, hey, if this her nigga, bitch, I'm the smoothest operator. Hey, he know that shit. Ooh, hey, come get your nigga, bitch. I'm the smoothest operator, and he know that shit. Ooh, tell her, if this her nigga shit, I'm the smoothest operator, and he know that shit. See, I leave a nigga alone, and these bitches blowing the phones. If it ain't no money, it ain't no love. What the hell is niggas on? Laying low, playing slow. Mindset on go. I blow the smoke, bet they choke. Incrimination ain't no joke. I don't follow trends, I'm trending. I'm in my bag, no feelings. No new friend, cause I'm stuck with my amigos. Really like take off, I'm big as this shit goes. Really hate to show off, hotter than the motherfucking torch right now. Shit, I might blow out, doing what the who. Many hoes ain't no big mouth, bluffing on the net, shit to get a hoe pissed off. Ooh, keep a nigga for what? When I just do it like Nike, I keep my digits up. I'm the smoothest operator. All these bitches ain't patient. I'm the shit, I'm the greatest. That's why the nigga waves. Hey, come get your nigga, bitch. I'm the smoothest operator. He know that shit.
I'm gonna start off with a couple comments, even though Braden's tired of hearing my comments. But
He said, "Let me just jump in."
garbage. No,
Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
I do want to for anyone listening that does like it. I was gonna just go ahead and tell you this was recorded through all my equipment, and I was just gonna tell you kind of the chain for it.
Yeah.
'Cause a lot of people ask my recording chain all the time,
They
and
want
I
the
don't really
sauce.
show it.
Yeah, they want the sauce, man.
It's
Let them
no
know.
secret sauce, but it's literally the TLM 103, and then I do have outboard gear. It's going into a Neve 511. Which has just got some gain, just rolling off some low end with the filter, and then it has a texture knob. It's almost like a saturation. You can barely hear it.
Mhm.
It's super subtle, but it's going from that to a mag EQ. He was probably boosting 20K, 2 dB or something, and I have the 2-band mag EQ where it's just the low and the high, and then it's going into an opto compressor. It's the ACME opto compressor. I know Tory Lanez has done some of his stuff through that compressor, but that's the chain for these vocals. If anyone likes how the vocals came out, but I didn't do it. Obviously, Braden did it, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean for Braden being new, I think it's cool. The opto compressors are like a very popular thing amongst vocals. They usually always sound good on vocals. So awesome that you have an opto compressor there. Braden, I saw you were in the chat. I'm just curious as if the beat was tracked out or if it was a 2-track beat.
It was definitely 2-track. I can tell you right now.
Okay, cool. Well, Braden, you can speak for yourself. Okay, you're not going to get in trouble with your boss.
Blink twice.
Yeah, blink twice if you're in trouble. No, so I thought the kick was banging. The kick was coming through super nice. For me, the snare was a little bit loud. I'm not not to where like it's just terrible, but I felt like I could come down a little bit. And then there's like a triangle in the beat that is right here at this 12,500 hertz, and it's just like kind of piercing to me. So I pulled that out with a dynamic EQ just to kind of even it out. Obviously in a 2-track, it's only so much you could do, but even in the 2-track, try doing this dynamic EQ that pulls out that triangle a little bit, just because it's a little distracting. Only other thing I would say is it's super refreshing to hear, especially like with an engineer that's starting out learning how to mix and all this stuff while you're working, that the vocals aren't super like top end heavy or fried in the top end. I really like that. That being said, I feel like the vocals are a little bit dark for me, which is fine. You can brighten them up easily. But I was thinking that, not like with an EQ, unless you're using something like a Pultec where like the top end is smoother when you boost. But maybe even try that radiator I was just telling you about, Shane.
Yeah.
Try that in parallel, and maybe boost the treble a little bit to where you like it, and then boost the input knob and bring down the output knob around the same amount as you boost the input, and then just play with the mix knob until you kind of get like a little top end shine on it without it sounding too brittle on top. But otherwise, I thought it sounded good. The vocals were, I think once that change is made in the vocals will cut through a little bit more, because I don't necessarily think they were low. I just think because they're a little bit darker, with a little bit less upper mids, that they just didn't cut through quite as much. But I feel like once you fix that, volume-wise, they're probably okay.
Only other thing was, Braden, don't be scared to like, these are great songs to do like beat chops and stutters on, like you're just typical rap, just to spice up the song, just to make it a little more interesting. I don't know if you ran out of time or whatever with the time they booked, but yeah, just have fun with it. And that's what's gonna, honestly, for any new engineers, you want to make sure a client comes back, aside from just making sure it sounds good, effects. Oh my, I can't and this is just an artist thing. Like if you do a beat drop, if you do what they call the underwater effect with the beat,
Yeah,
which is just
exactly.
a filter,
Yeah.
or something in the beat, when the artist hears that, they're gonna be like, "Oh my god, that was so dope," and they're gonna want to come back to you immediately. That's just I've seen that a million times.
Yeah. When you're dealing with two tracks, since you don't really have, stems to mix and stuff, those little things that Shane's talking about, just being able to somehow add your own kind of thumbprint to it, it kind of like blows people away because they're like, damn, I didn't even give this dude the stems. But also I'm sure if you guys have seen Ali on interviews and stuff before, like that's how he kind of built his sound with TDE and them, was that they didn't have a lot of track outs. So he was having to do all these effects and things. And that's kind of like, once he, started getting track outs and everything, he still had that as his base. So he was able to add, so much more to records, which helps you stand out as an engineer.
Bro said, verify your life away.
Yeah. Verify is like the biggest wow factor for an artist ever.
I've actually done like a cut and then
halftime. Sometimes that halftime octave drop, that in the verify. You were gonna say, Shane, you do a cut.
If you could like take a 2-bar or 1-bar part of the beat and use the audio suite reverse it, and then have it drop back into the beat again.
Oh, that's fire.
There's all kinds of little. If you only work with 2 tracks, like, which I actually, no kidding, I worked with only 2 tracks for like 6 years, and you really find ways to just spice it up somehow.
Yeah,
just start trying stuff.
For sure. I think that's the thing, is like you discover like creative things that you can start incorporating, like later when you're getting a bunch of track outs and stuff, you can still incorporate these things, and it's going to set you apart from the next guy. Which is awesome. And it's also, you're known for, whatever that is that you put together, like you're known for that sound. It becomes your thumbprint. Okay, so let's move on.
Filter, yeah.
Oh yeah, I seen one knob. I was gonna say, if you're in Pro Tools, lo-fi is by far the best filter.
You think that's better than one knob?
Yeah, because it's a phase thing. So for anybody that doesn't know, that sound that was made popular by Drake and 40 in Canada, that's all lo-fi, the plugin. That is because it does it by samples. So let's just pull this.
Someone else just told me that. Yeah, do it.
Yeah, so do it. So lo-fi plugin, which if you don't have Pro Tools, you will not be able to use this plugin. But on the lo-fi plugin, you have the sample rate at the top.
You got to show them how to automate it.
No returns in the.
So in general, when you start pulling down the sample rate, it's cutting it by samples. So like it's not affecting the phase of your sound at all, which is why I say it's the best one, because even one knob, and sometimes like that phasey quality that it adds is like a cool effect. So sometimes one knob sounds better in a situation, but if you're looking for something that's not going to affect the phase at all, then definitely lo-fi is your best bet. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you want to automate anything in Pro Tools. Any button on here is automatable. If you hold down all 3 of the bottom keys and hit enable automation, you'll see it go green here, but that's Control Option Command on a Mac. And then if you go to your automation lane, you'll see that it's here. And then you can just draw in your automation. So, if we want,
you did Control Option Command to
automate, yeah.
Yeah, I've never done that.
Yeah, all 3 of them at one time, and you can click any button on your plugin, and it'll automatically create.
Bro,
so it pops up.
I've never done it that way.
So it pops up with this little menu, and you could do enable automation for whatever parameter it is.
What was it again? Control Option Command?
Yeah, Control Option Command, and then click, and then so that creates the lane for us. And then so say we have this on here, and you can even do it, with the bypass button here. So we're on master bypass. So basically, let's take everything but this section. So you'll see when you're clicked here, it's bypassed, but here it is not. And then say we want the filter that we have on here to, rise or whatever into that next section. So you could just do, I actually like to do this. And then I just get rid of that extra. And this isn't on grid because we don't have the tempo or anything, but just so you can see.
I could be a ring master. He a disgrace, turn his ass to a bastard. He like, hey. go get some money. Nigga be talking, ain't coming with that. Disrespect me, smack his ass with a stack. Getting it over, shoot from the back. Sex real good.
So yeah, obviously you can use it for actual purposes that make sense, but
Yeah.
it's that easy to automate. If you guys didn't know the shortcut, there's a gem for you. Take that home, put it in your back pocket.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. That's crazy. I've always right clicked and then added to automation dialogue and then did it like that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's just a little quicker. Saves time. By the way, that beat is amazing.
What for the
smooth operator beat? I really like that beat.
Oh,
I'm a big Sade fan, so. All right, so next one that we have, I know we're at 6, but we talked a little bit. I'm gonna do one more. The last one I have on here is, well, not the last one, but the next one in line is for Lucid. Lucid, if you're in the chat, throw a thumbs up. Let us know you're here so we can review, man. Yeah, that lo-fi is the one that I go to. I actually, when I record, I always used to use one knob just because it was like super quick for me to do. But if I'm mixing and I want to do something like that, I usually go to lo-fi first and see if it works, you know.
When I used to use Logic, I actually just used EQ and automated a pass, a band to just filter.
I've done that in Ableton because I produce in Ableton, so I do that in Ableton too, and it still sounds good. It's just more work.
Yeah.
All right, I haven't seen Lucid say what up yet. Have you? Nope.
Mm-mm.
All right, we're gonna move on. Next person is Frankie Audio. Let us know if you're in the chat.
You got 30 seconds, man.
Let us know if you're in the chat.
No, not elusive. Carson D. Right. Everybody's trying to.
Yeah, they're all. I'm Lucid. No, okay. So I don't see Frankie either.
Next.
All right, next one is Kikoa. Kikoa, are you in the chat?
Somebody says say yeehaw one time. Making fun of my accent. I'm from Mississippi.
Give him a yeehaw, man.
Yeehaw. Look at AM mixes in here.
Dude, actually that was fine. Like it sounded like a beat tag.
That's funny, bro. Yeah. If anybody needs a beat tag, I'm doing them for the low of like $50. You know what I'm saying? Hit me up. I got you.
I'm doing yeehaw tags for anybody that needs them.
That's who told me about lo-fi. AM mixes. He's a engineer on the platform as well.
Yeah, I know. I know.
A while back, he told me about it, and I was like, "What?" That was the first time I heard of lo-fi.
All right, I'm not seeing our person in here. All right, psychedelic beats.
Psychedelic. Psychedelic.
We're gonna run through them. We're gonna give you guys just a little bit of time.
Pay to skip lines. Yeah, cash up. Shane mixed it.
Oh shit, you're funny. Okay, so we're looking for psychedelic. I'm looking at IG chat. Shane, tell me if you see them in the YouTube chat.
Okay, but I do not see psychedelic in the YouTube chat.
Okay, cool.
I know there's a lag too, so it's like you got to give it a good 20.
That's why I'm trying to chill for a second. But
someone said, "Yo, I'm here." Whoever said, "Yo, I'm here," what's your artist name or whatever? I don't know if you're saying that you're psychedelic or not, because your YouTube does not say that. If you are psychedelic, say I am psychedelic.
I'm gonna move on.
All
right. Next up is Badman. Looks like IG handle is Debaddist.
And I have definitely not seen that. Let me scroll down. Debaddist. I have not seen that one. I'm scrolling tonight. Debaddist.
It's D-I-I. The baddest.
Whoa, that's wild.
Oh, here we go. Hey, is that Breda? Is that Batman over here? Is that you?
Are you bad, Breda? Are you bad, man?
Breda.
Breda.
Yep, that's him. Okay, perfect.
Bet.
All right, this is actually going to be fun. He says he wants us to criticize his mix as rough as possible.
Oh God.
So let's see what we got. It's called copy paste. We're going to download this and copy paste this into Pro Tools. You know what I'm saying? All right.
We just play the song 10 seconds, stop it, say it's garbage.
and then copy paste it over and just play a duplicated 4-bar loop.
Oh gosh.
Nah, everything's been fire tonight, so I got high expectations. All right. Let's play this one from the top.
Absurde wsadzireva Kopi oltis kovirčeva Karaperi aritsveva Hvala erta zerodgeva Is absurde wsadzireva Kopi oltis kovirčeva Jojo hedis harites Hagza ulchis vige foldes Tips da wedze billiges Sigis scheda mimiges Mersim shudesh Shasiv mavesh Stylia sigdili storitkesh Kakrevit battle meschamesh Mimi hepukesh Sregard Gilgamesh Gilgamesh Shemi line bitris Copy paste na vera best knis Hasro nebi six Simatlia tu min me masu gimis Mopoe bakli autoritadis Hasro nebi Stamkud rebis Kaknidi gebis Keshino deskanat gurebis Fakko bitch Rasan Shem to gada sobal Meur nam duli arkega na fan Koris ne koleva nam duli klani Tunda sodna ugasia sambrali Nam duli vojnik nevi jam dali Tu iar seve shengu zishkami Harse ushindi ar dachalo tavi Gamo steba cudna tu shen guarditali A kraj sleva Hvala erta zerot geba Is absurde wsedzireva Kofi ყოველთვის კოპირჩება აკრაიცვლება ყველა ერთაზე როდგება ის აბსურდებს ეწირება კოპი ყოველთვის კოპირჩება bitch we kill them we kill them
გასეირნება ჯოჯო ხეთში ყოველ დღე ახალი სული იცვლება ყოველ დღე copy paste თიმის ეთქული ვარ კოპი თითქოს არ შემეცვია მე მოკეთე ვისაც აინტერესებს იკითხოს იყო ჩემი სიტყვა სულ მოწევ სადაც არ ვიხავ ისტორი პარალელური რეალობა გამოვწევ არ გაფაქტი არა ფიქრი განსხვავებული არაფერი მოკმედებს თქვენზე ამ ფიზიანტები თქვენზე მე ფიზიანტები ხიპიანებზე აზროვნებას გიწესებენ მათ სიტუაცივი მათთვისაც ვისაც ამოიჩემებენ არქი ფიქრია დაცვა რა თქმა თუ მანამდე ვერ შეგეხენ copy paste ვისაც წარძინავს ხდება რომ ვისაც კარგი ახდება ის ვერ გარისკავს ყველას დავიწყებში ახდება ის ვერ დაიჩაგრება მარა გამოცდილი მოთამაშე 23-ში დახვეტავს მთელი სასწავლი ერთი კაცი ვინიგანი ვერ მიშველის მატჩი ახლოში მოვიდნენ ცოტა ვაცი ფამპექშენი თავში მიტყელებს ასი როგორ გამოვიდათ იყო ნათათიდან ერთი ანუ თვასაც ვერ ერთი ჰეი ახსნა ერთია copy paste
Man, what the hell?
A lot going on. And it's a unique way to end the song, for sure. Let me just.
It just threw me for a loop. I was like, what?
Yeah, I couldn't understand at first. Just like the way that the mix was, and then I just couldn't tell at first. Hold on, let me hear this one part. Hold on.
მათთვისაც ვისაც ამოიჩემებენ არქი ფიქრია დაცვა რა თქმა თუ მანამდე ვერ შეგეხენ copy paste ვისაც Sargina støba rum Vi satt galt i støba Iser gari skal falaska Da
All right, cool. What were you hearing, Shane?
I like the second half of the song way more than the first half. I don't know why. I just switch up with the beat and the way you were flowing on it. I just liked it a lot more. The first half of the song, I felt like the vocals needed more tune. Those were like the main things that poked out.
Come on, man. He said you got to be rough. You got to be you got to get rugged. You got to get rugged with this mixed feedback.
That's your best. That's your best country accent.
No, probably not the best one, but yeah, that's what we did.
I mean, there was some little frequency areas that were bothering me a little, but it really wasn't that bad. It was just the first half didn't hit as hard as the second half. I enjoyed the second part of the song way more than the first.
Yeah, I agree. I like when it switched up into the second half of the song. I like that a little bit more on both sides, on the production and the mix side. For some reason, I feel like the like drums and stuff were cutting a little bit different on the second half. For me, I would want to hear the kick transient a little bit more, or the low end transient, whatever that is that's occupying that space. I boosted this at 78 hertz. There was a couple vocal frequencies that were bothering my ears a little bit, this 10K and this 7K. The only other thing was I felt like the music could be widened a little bit to make space for the vocals to kind of just like have a little bit of like breathing room between that and the music. I tried this. It's like a dB boost of the sides at like 2K, which is where like a lot of the vocal is going to be, but you can play with that like with the stems itself and see what sounds good for your mix there. But yeah, those are my only notes for the song. I did like the switch up was super unexpected for me, and it in a good way.
Yeah, I like the creativeness and all that, and then the ending was, I said what the hell earlier. Not that the ending was bad. It just I did not see that coming.
Yeah,
So.
I kind of like it. For some reason lately, I've been, and actually here on stream, there's just been a few records that people have submitted where they end records pretty uniquely, and I think that's kind of like a cool little like art to add to your engineering toolbox, because in like the 90s and early 2000s, like everything faded out, and then people stopped doing that, and then when TDE and Kendrick and all them came along, there was a lot more like cohesiveness in between songs because it's like a full project type thing. So it's cool to hear like new ways to end songs, and like maybe something like this will end up becoming the trend for the next 5 to 10 years. Who knows? But I kind of like when songs end unexpectedly like that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are past time. We did go past time to do an extra one. It was a great show. I appreciate everybody coming back out. It's always good to see everybody here every week. Good to see the growth every time. We did 2 hours this time. We'll probably stick to 2 hours next week and just see how it goes. If it keeps going well at 2 hours, we'll stay there. And then we'll try to expand the show later. I know there's a lot of submissions that come in. Also, when you submit, just know that we take submissions right at 4 when the live stream starts, and we just go down the list, whatever order that comes in. So first come, first serve, and you just have to be in the chat. So I know we see a lot of people in the comments saying like play mine now or whatever, this and that. If yours comes up in that list, then we'll play it. So just make sure when you're submitting, try to submit as close to 4 as possible, because there's a lot of submissions that come in. So your best bet of being heard is to submit at 4. But also big shout out to Shane for coming on the show.
Yes, sir.
Definitely check him out. Just in general on online and all of that, but you can also find him on Engineers on the platform, as well as myself, as well as Hunter, as well as Braden. You can find all of us on there. Also, Shane, I know you got your studio on there as well. If you wanna shout out your studio and all of that.
Yeah, if y'all want to find me on anything, I'm actually totally down to listen to any music y'all have. I have a lot of time, since I'm literally in the studio about 12 hours a day. So whether I'm actually mixing, if I'm not mixing or recording, I'm working on content, listening to people's stuff, doing phone calls. I'm really big on trying to help as much as possible, just because when I was coming up, I couldn't actually find any help, and it was frustrating. So, if I can give you 10 minutes of my time on a phone you know, just to talk and help you out with something, I'll definitely do that. All of my ats on all social media are at Shane Mixed It. That's YouTube, Instagram, on engineers, Discord, everything. So to make it easier for y'all, it's just at Shane Mixed It, and hit me up. Go subscribe to the YouTube. I'm just now getting into posting content on YouTube and really trying to share some of the daily things I go through and that I learn. I should have been doing it, but I'm just kind of really locking in right now and trying to do it. So I really want to help.
Yeah, definitely. I've been seeing your content stuff go up. And Shane's always been like a hard worker in general. He's usually not sitting around waiting for stuff to happen. So definitely check out his YouTube stuff. He's got a lot of great information, cool tips and things like that on there. Shane, if you ever want to collab on something on your side, just hit me up personally. And we can talk about that if you want. Otherwise, thanks everybody for coming out. I see a few people asking where to submit. It's their first time. We do have that pinned in the chats, but you submit at thecartestlive.com. We start taking submissions in at the start of the stream every Monday. We've now switched to 4 p.m. Pacific time. So 4 p.m. Pacific time next week, we'll be back. You can submit at that time, and then we'll go in order, and you must be in the chat when we call your name. If you do not respond to let us know you're in the chat when we call you out, then we do move on and you lose your spot. So don't do that. Otherwise, anything else you want to say before we take off, Shane?
Hey, man, if y'all want me to come back on the next one, go message engineers and be like, we want Shane back.
Light us up in the DMs. No, definitely. I've been saying that I've been trying to bring somebody on. It's just it's been such a new segment and stuff, so we kind of wanted to get some traction. But very very happy to have you as the first guest for sure. It was a fun time. It didn't even feel like 2 hours. I just literally looked up and was like, shit, we're past time. So
yeah.
Well, appreciate you coming out, Shane. Always, if you're in LA, whatever, hit us up. I'm obviously, I move around a lot, but I'm based in LA, so But yeah, next time you're in LA, hit me up, and then if you want to do, if you have some ideas on some content or something that you want to collab on, let me know. Otherwise, everybody else, go to subscribe to Shane's channel. Go check out his content. Go learn all these cool tips and tricks, and then one day you'll be a guest on the show.
Maybe.
All right, and then for us to get out of here, let's get one more yeehaw from my man Shane real quick.
Yeehaw!
Yes. All right, guys.
We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week, guys. Thank you so much.
All right.
Yo, you still on the call, Shane?
I'm not gonna lie. Most convenient thing. There was like last night while I was like looking for cables and shit, I was like, bro. then we had to like download Mac OS at one point, and I was like, bro, I could leave here, go to the office, and come back faster than it would download sitting here. So we sat an hour. He was like, you ain't gotta do that. I was like,
I'm gonna call it right now.
yeah. An hour of time waiting on Mac OS. We can do that at the office. Probably way faster.
He sent me a text saying he's doing laundry, and then he was like, "What time do you think I really do?" So he was like,
Oh.
"Yo, what's doing? Still doing laundry? You doing the gym tan laundry? You doing gym tan laundry? GTL, Jersey Shore?
Bro's
Gym
not
tan
familiar.
yeah, he's not familiar. Gym tan laundry. You remember Jersey Shore? That's too white for Juicy. Don't do that. Don't make fun of my people. No. All right. So wait, you're at the apartment or what? Okay, word. Lashard was saying that it would be better for you to come up here because the internet's faster.
Yeah. Yeah, you can pull up on us.
Did everybody leave?
It's just Luke, Daniel, and
Oh, you reckon, do you? All right. Well, what do you want? What do you want to do? Do you want to just pull up here after you have your computer with you? You got to stop by the studio.
I can stop by the studio. So you want me to pull up there?
yeah.
Okay, bet.
Can I get
Just
rid of
because
this?
we got all the shit here and on up.
Can I get rid of this?
Yeah. You can close up.
All right. So when you said you got 30 minutes of laundry to do, and then you're gonna pull up?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, you're Gucci.
Yeah, just hit us. I'm gonna work on. I got some mix shit, so I'm gonna be working on that over here until you pull up, and then you got a session tonight.
Nah, I gotta hit the gym though for sure.
Okay, word.
You can mix at my spot while I'm at the office too, if you want to do that.
What time are you going to the gym?
I mean, I'm hopefully like if we get this done after that, but
You wanna well, I mean, maybe when you pull up over here, we'll like fuck with all that shit, and then you possibly wanna like it'd be cool if I go over there and mix while you're at the gym,
yeah, hell yeah,
and then I'll just post up there until you get back.
yeah, that's cool.
Okay, word. Yeah, just hit me when you're headed up over to the office. Just go down.
Okay, no,
You know where it's at.
send me the address till we all at.
Just go.
Park in the green zone. He'll be fine.
Yeah, literally. I'll shoot you the address, but literally just go down Oxnard. Like, which way down Oxnard are you from the studio?
Just send me the address. I don't even know.
I'm gonna send you the address, but it's literally the like you know where you turn right on Sepulveda to go to the gym.
Yeah.
And before you get to that light, like right before, there's a driveway to turn into the left, like where Ace is. Just so you know where it's at. I'll shoot you the address though. All right. All right. Was it 5990?
Yeah. Park in the green.
Oh, you got to work on it up there. You said who's up there?
Mark, Daniel, Luke.
Actually, here on.
Probably gonna leave soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up there with you to see if I can catch Daniel real quick and then just come back down.